Happy Mother's Day. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. Join me today as I give you some of my favorite cake recipes to celebrate Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day cake today, and it starts now on SoFlo Taste. How fun is that? Happy Mother's Day. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein coming to you from the Goya Kitchen in the Culinary Lab at Florida Education Institute in the city, beautiful Coral Gables. Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in our lives. And I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate Mom for what she does for us than to make her a cake. I'd love somebody to make me a cake. Oh sure, you know, a Lamborghini or the Hope Diamond would be better, but after all, I am a chef. A cake is it, or better yet, 3 cakes. So let's get cooking. The first one I'm going to make is a bit of a lemon cake of sorts. It has a whole lemon in it, and let me show you what to do with that whole lemon. This is a whole lemon seeded and cut up. We're going to throw that into a food processor. The whole thing, right? It's pretty crazy. Pith, zest, and all. Close that up, run it. And we're going to add that in right at the end. Ah, it smells so good. So this recipe was actually made for a different kind of a lemon, a Meyer lemon, which is a lot different. It has a different level of acidity than this lemon, so you might want to add a little more sugar to your cake depending on how you like it or not. I would taste it, the batter, and see if it has enough sugar for you. Okay, so speaking of sugar, it's already in the mixer. I'm going to go ahead and add 3 eggs to it, and let's go ahead and make this light and fluffy. Okay, we're going to go ahead and sift baking powder with the all-purpose flour to ensure this cake be as light as possible. Let's go ahead at the same time and work on the glaze for the cake. In this pot, I'm just going to put some confectioner's sugar or powdered sugar, a little bit of water, very little, and some lemon juice. Now, if you wanted to vary it all, you could add a little bit of citrus, like orange citrus to this instead. You can combine lime and lemon if you wanted to get, you know, different levels of acidity, but also different flavors. I'm going to put this on really nice and low and let that combine to whisk it up a little bit. Okay, our sugar and egg mixture is beautiful. It's light and it's fluffy. To that, I'm going to go ahead and add this flour. Let's go ahead and gently mix that together at first, because you never want the flour to hit you in the face. Happens to me a lot. Once that is fully incorporated, let's go ahead and add some softened butter. Lift that up a little bit, get that a little bit faster. Now it's looking like a cake. Okay, I don't want to mix too much more because it's already looking really beautiful. So we're going to add the last additions and just gently let the mixer do its business, but at a very low speed. This is some Greek yogurt, obviously no flavor. Vanilla. I use vanilla paste a lot in my baking. I love it. I actually have a recurring order of this stuff at my house. It reminds me of Play-Doh. I love vanilla paste. Okay, something about the smell brings me back to childhood. And then finally, that whole lemon that we chopped up, that'll go right in there as well. I know you think that it might be bitter because I allowed, you know, the pith and the juice and the zest and all that good stuff. All the bitter parts and the good parts of the lemon were all mixed together, but it actually comes out beautifully. Mix that up gently. Let's come on over and see how the glaze is doing. With a little bit of heat and just a little bit of a whisk, this turns into a lovely glaze for our cake. Yeah, and there you have it. So this is what the cake is like. The batter is just gorgeous. It smells delicious. And then it bakes in one simple springform pan. And this is the finished cake. As you can see, we've taken this glaze and we've basically just brushed it over the top. And then of course I love making candied zests a lot, and I can send you that recipe too on the SoFlo Show's webpage. But makes it all crispy and crunchy over the top. I hope you enjoy it. What a great beginning to our Mother's Day, a beautiful palate opener. So come right back for more of my Mother's Day recipes. You're watching SoFlo Taste here on the one and only Local 10.
Come back to the Goya Kitchen at the Culinary Lab at Florida Education Institute. Chef Michelle and the food. This is SoFlo Taste.
Coming up right after SoFlo Taste, it's SoFlo Home Project with me, Elena Capra, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste, located in the heart of Coral Gables. FEI, Florida Education Institute's Culinary Arts Program, offers students a unique education that touches the international culinary fundamentals. In just months, you can graduate from the FEI Culinary Program and begin your exciting new career on the dynamic Miami culinary scene. For more information, visit fei.edu/culinary-arts. Now back to celebrating mom. All right, everyone, let's make a very simple but very deep and dark chocolate flourless cake. It's a really simple recipe. I've been using it for a long time, but it's so good and it's so deep and dark, but it's not too sweet. So it goes with pretty much anything you want to put on top of it. I just love it with tons of whipped cream because that's my shtick, but it's really, really delicious. Raspberry sauces would be great on it. I'm already melting the chocolate, and you want to use a really good, I would say go in like the 70s for percentages of chocolate, because you want something really deep and dark, but not like overly done. You don't want to get into the 80s, I don't think, for this recipe. I'm going to add some butter to the melting chocolate, and let's just watch everything melt for a couple seconds. So the one thing I love most about this cake is that I can eat it. I tend to not eat too much flour. It's not good for me. So this cake, which was created a really, really long time ago, was made with absolutely no flour and no traces of flour either. It's also not made with almond flour, which is what a lot of people used to substitute these cakes with. It's really just all about the chocolate, the cocoa, and the other good stuff I'm about to add in. So let's remove this bowl from the bain-marie, and I have a little towel here to set it on. Let's scrape as much of this chocolate and butter as I can off of this spatula and go ahead and begin. So the first thing I'll add into this is sugar, granulated sugar. Let's go ahead and whisk all that until it comes together. Next, we'll add some salt, a little espresso powder. It's amazing how espresso powder has made its way into almost every chocolate cake I've ever made. And not only does it impart flavor, but I truly believe that it adds a little bit to the moistness of the cake. Vanilla was the last thing I added. Let's mix that in. Now let's go ahead and add 3 eggs to this. And when it all finally comes together, I will swap out my whisk for that spatula. And the last thing I'll be adding, which seems like flour, but it's not, it adds to the chocolatiness, is cocoa powder. And I always like to use a good really good quality cocoa powder. This is really where, if I were to spend the money, it would be on the chocolate, right? On the really good dark chocolate and on a really good quality cocoa powder. It makes such a huge difference when baking. You won't believe, if you were to do side by side a cake baked with a simple cocoa powder that you would find in any supermarket, or a cocoa powder that's more refined and comes from like a real good Belgium chocolate, you wouldn't believe how much more chocolate flavor, that pure, genuine chocolate flavor you get. Okay, everybody, that's it. Let's see what it turns into. Thank you. There you have it. It's short, it's like a torte, it's rich, it's delicious, a lot of whipped cream, which yum, and then of course just a shot of cocoa powder right over the top. And there you have it, everyone. A beautiful flourless chocolate cake from Mama. Come right back for more SoFlo Taste and my Mother's Day cake recipes. SoFloShows.com is a great place to celebrate the food of South Florida. It's also the place to ask me a question or make a comment, especially a good comment. Again, SoFloShows.com. You're watching SoFlo Taste, the #1 food show in all of South Florida. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. All of my recipes are available on the SoFlo Shows webpage. Just scan this quick response code and you're on your way to the informative SoFlo Shows page. You'll also see this QR code on the ingredient list throughout the show. Now back to Let Mom Eat Cakes. Okay, everyone, we are going to make a passion fruit layer cake. I love layer cake because you layer in yummy stuff like frosting, like passion fruit frosting. So let's go ahead and just start the cake. I wanted to make a really beautifully moist, flaky vanilla cake and then just layer in buttercream. All right, so here we are sifting flour, baking powder, and some salt. Go ahead and run this through your sifter. If you guys don't have a sifter at home, you should buy one. They're not expensive, and boy, does it make life easier. To go through a mesh colander just really takes forever. Okay, so in the mixing bowl, we are going to go ahead and add, let me get rid of this first, hold on. Some butter, sugar, a little bit of vegetable oil, and some vanilla paste. Every time I say vanilla paste, it truly is vanilla paste, but you can use vanilla extract if that's what you have around. It's perfectly fine. All right, let's mix this up and see how we do. So this is the creaming method. You're basically creaming fats into sugar and you're allowing it to get really nice and soft and come together beautifully so that it gets light and fluffy. In cakes like these where you want them really light, you're going to add eggs one at a time, not all at once. We have fluff. So you wait and see till the egg is completely incorporated into that cream, and then you add the other egg. So when the eggs are fully incorporated, you're looking for that pretty, very light yellow color. We're next going to add half the flour, and then we'll add milk, and then the rest of the flour and a little bit more milk. That's about half. Let that become incorporated in. And once it does, add some of the milk. Don't let the milk splatter back at you. Let's add the rest of the flour. Bring that together. Every once in a while, lift, scrape the sides of the bowl, push everything down so that your paddle attachment can mix it all together. Let's add the milk now. Okay, that was easy. So now we have a beautiful vanilla cake batter. Let's go ahead and switch this out to make our buttercream frosting. All right, so we're gonna start out with the whisk attachment. We've got some butter in here. Let's start creaming the butter. I'm gonna add some condensed milk. This is the sweetness that we're adding to the frosting. And then finally, passion fruit. Now, you can buy passion fruit, which I highly recommend. It's all over Miami, South Florida. You basically cut it open. They're little seeds. It looks kind of like this, because this is fresh passion fruit. Let's show it to them. And you can strain this and add the juice of the fresh passion fruit into the frosting, or you can always buy, there's so many markets here that sell frozen purees of tropical fruit. So whatever your favorite tropical fruit is, go ahead and buy some and add the flavoring, the juice, until you reach the consistency or the texture that you desire, and of course the flavor as well. And there you have it. Passion fruit buttercream, that was pretty easy. So let's go ahead and see our cake. We actually have one here. Okay, everyone, look how beautiful this turned out. So this is a 3-layered passion fruit cake. So what we did is we poured that cake into 3 separate little 9-inch pans, and we baked them evenly. And that's it. You stack them up with the buttercream frosting. Again, this could be any flavor you like. And I thought it would be really nice to top it with some of the fresh passion fruit seeds, because it really gives it a fun, crunchy texture over the top. And of course, this can be switched to mango, citrus, pineapple, whatever fruit it is that you love. Okay, taste buds, come right back.
SoFlo Taste will return right after this.
more information on today's show or to see a recent SoFlo Taste episode, please go to our website, sofloshows.com. There you can find everything SoFlo Taste. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. Look how happy I am. I mean, this is so great. I feel like this Mother's Day cake assortment is just for me. I mean, are there any other moms here today? I don't see any others, so I think I'm going to have these all to myself. I'll start with the chocolate. Just kidding. Oh, this is for everybody. I love you guys. I hope you try one or all of these cake recipes from Mom and the mothers in your life. It's the least we can do for someone who's so important to us all, and maybe Mom will help you in the kitchen when you make these recipes. Now that could build a great memory. Join me next week as I get pickled. Well, at least some veggies get pickled. Yep, I'll be giving you recipes for some of my favorite pickles. So join me as we make those things that make everything they touch better. Pickles on the next SoFlo Taste. Design expert Elena Capra is up next on SoFlo Home Project. Good morning, Elena. What have you got for us this morning?
Hi, Michelle. Good morning. So today we are focusing on condo living. Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, we tour one beautiful condo that was once 2 units and now one magnificent space focusing on comfort and functionality.
Okay, Elena, sounds great. And wish your mother a happy Mother's Day for me. So Taste Buds, again, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. And don't forget Mom on her big day. Goodbye and very good taste. Mwah. Happy Mother's Day.